Tesla Bot Gen 3 is launching in 2026, but two fatal flaws just leaked out. First, the brain-powering Optimus isn't Tesla's. It's XAI, Musk's separate private AI company. Tesla's shareholders are now filing lawsuits, claiming the most valuable technology is being stripped from a public company and moved into Musk's personal empire. Second, when a humanoid robot causes injury in a warehouse, who's legally liable? The hardware manufacturer Tesla or the AI developer XAI? Nobody knows. Is this a brilliant strategy or a legal disaster waiting to explode? Look, I need to be honest with you right from the start. I've been following Tesla Bot since the first prototype stumbled onto that stage back in 2022, and I genuinely believed this was going to be the product that changed everything. The hardware is there, the batteries work, the vision systems function. So why am I suddenly worried? Because in the last few months, I've watched two problems emerge that have nothing to do with engineering and everything to do with decisions being made behind closed doors that could kill this entire project before it even starts. Let me tell you what's happening with the first problem, because when I first learned about this, I honestly thought I was misreading the reports. The brain inside Optimus, the software that lets it see, think, and make decisions, isn't being built by Tesla. It's being developed by XAI, Elon Musk's completely separate private AI company. Not consulting, not assisting, building it. The entire cognitive layer that makes Optimus actually useful is living inside a different company. Now, at first, this sounds reasonable, right? Musk runs both companies. Why not let the AI experts at XAI handle the artificial intelligence while Tesla focuses on manufacturing the physical robot? Seems efficient. But then I started thinking about what this actually means, and it gets uncomfortable fast. Tesla is a public company. When you buy Tesla stock, you own a piece of everything Tesla creates. XAI is private. Musk owns it, controls it, and no public shareholders get a piece of it. So when the most valuable part of a humanoid robot, the intelligence that makes it worth $20,000 instead of $6,000, is being built by a separate company, where does that value actually go? To Tesla shareholders who own the stock? Or to XAI, which is building the thing that makes the robot valuable? Tesla shareholders are asking the same question, and they're not happy about it. Legal cases are already moving through courts right now, questioning whether intellectual property and engineering resources are being quietly shifted from a public company into Musk's private empire. And honestly, I can't blame them for being angry. If Optimus becomes the revolutionary product Tesla keeps promising, who benefits financially? The people who bought Tesla stock, believing they'd own a piece of that revolution? Or Musk's private company that controls the brain? Think about what this means long-term. Hardware gets cheap fast. Chinese companies like Unitree are already selling humanoid robots for $6,000 to $14,000. Tesla can't compete on price for motors and metal frames. The entire value proposition was supposed to be the AI, millions of robots learning together, getting smarter collectively, feeding data back into one system that keeps improving. That network effect is where the real money is. But if XAI owns that system, what exactly is Tesla selling? Metal bodies that depend on someone else's brain? And here's what really bothers me. Every other serious player in this space owns their complete system. Boston Dynamics controls every line of code in Atlas. Hyundai builds their AI in-house. Even Chinese manufacturers keep everything internal. Tesla is literally the only major company where the brain and body are split across corporate boundaries. There's no precedent for this, and I think there's a reason why. The risks are obvious. Now, the second problem is somehow even messier, and this one affects deployment immediately. When traditional robots hurt someone, Figuring out who's responsible is straightforward. Back in 2019, a KUKA robotic arm in a German factory accidentally hit a worker. The investigation was simple. A safety stop was configured wrong. KUKA made the robot, KUKA was liable, insurance paid out, case closed. Everyone knew who was responsible. Humanoid robots break that entire system. These machines aren't following pre-programmed instructions. They're making real-time decisions based on what they see, what they've learned, and probabilities. So when something goes wrong, who's accountable? Let me give you a real scenario that keeps me up at night. Optimus is working in a warehouse, moving boxes next to human workers. A worker makes a hand gesture. Optimus misinterprets it because of lighting, angle, or just statistical uncertainty in its visual model. It turns unexpectedly. The worker steps back, falls into shelving, gets seriously injured. Now what? Is Tesla liable because they built and sold the robot? Is XAI liable because their software made the decision? Is the warehouse operator liable for deploying it? Is the worker liable for the ambiguous gesture? Nobody knows. And that's not me being dramatic. The European Union's 2021 AI Act explicitly calls out this exact problem. They classify collaborative robots in human environments as high-risk AI systems that need continuous monitoring, not just one-time approval. You can't test a learning robot once and assume it stays safe forever. Its behavior changes as it learns. But if XAI owns the intelligence and Tesla owns the hardware, who do regulators monitor? Who gets audited? Who's accountable when behavior evolves in unexpected ways? This creates real problems right now, not in some distant future. When DHL tested Boston Dynamics robots in their warehouses, they demanded software rollback protocols after minor navigation errors. And that was in a controlled pilot with minimal risk. Now imagine scaling that to thousands of units with split ownership between manufacturer and AI provider. Which company approves software updates? Which one gets sued when an update causes new problems? What insurance company will even write a policy when they can't figure out who they're insuring against? And you know what's frustrating? Tesla has everything they need to win this race. They can manufacture faster than anyone. They have the supply chain. They have the capital. Tesla could probably build 10,000 Optimus units next quarter if they wanted to. But no insurance company will underwrite large-scale deployment with unclear liability. No warehouse manager will put dozens of autonomous robots on their floor if one incident triggers legal chaos. No regulator will approve it when accountability disappears into corporate structure. Look at how Boston Dynamics does it. Yes, Atlas is expensive. Yes, it needs high maintenance. Yes, they're years from mass deployment. But when Atlas operates, there's zero ambiguity about who's responsible. Every sensor reading, every line of code, every decision, one company owns it all. That clarity is worth billions in reduced legal risk. Hyundai is even more careful, only deploying in controlled industrial spaces where safety frameworks already exist. It's slower, less exciting, but legally bulletproof from day one. Tesla wants to move fast and deploy thousands of units immediately. That's the Musk playbook. Iterate in the real world instead of spending 10 years on careful pilots. I respect that approach. It's what made Tesla's vehicles successful. But these two structural flaws create friction that speed can't overcome. It's like trying to launch self-driving cars when you can't answer who's liable for crashes. Except now the car has arms and works inches from humans all day. I've been covering robotics for 20 years, and here's what I see. These aren't technical problems that better engineering fixes. They're structural decisions that need corporate reorganization or explicit legal agreements. If Tesla doesn't clearly prove that Optimus intelligence belongs to Tesla shareholders, big buyers won't commit. If liability stays ambiguous between Tesla and XAI, insurance costs kill deployment economics, regardless of how good the hardware is. Chinese competitors don't have these problems because everything's unified. Boston Dynamics doesn't have these problems because they own it all. Tesla created these problems by splitting brain from body at the worst possible moment. The irony kills me. Musk built Tesla's entire EV dominance on vertical integration, controlling everything from batteries to software to service. That unified control let Tesla iterate faster than anyone and keep improving through over-the-air updates. But with Optimus, that integration is shattering right when it matters most. Whether this is strategic genius we don't understand yet, or organizational chaos that costs years of delays, depends entirely on how ownership and liability get resolved in the next 12 months. So here's my question for you. If you were running a warehouse tomorrow and could deploy humanoid robots, would you buy a $20,000 Tesla bot with unclear AI ownership and murky liability? Or would you buy a $14,000 Unitree unit where one company controls everything and you know exactly who to sue if something goes wrong? Tell me in the comments which risk you'd take, because I genuinely don't know the right answer anymore. So here's the bottom line. Tesla Bot Gen 3 has the hardware to dominate humanoid robotics. But these two fatal flaws, XAI controlling the brain while Tesla builds the body, and the liability nightmare that nobody can solve, these aren't just Tesla's problems. They're defining the entire future of how autonomous robots work alongside humans. Within 6 months, we'll see whether Tesla resolves the ownership question with XAI or whether deployment delays hand Chinese competitors the advantage they need. Either way, 2026 is the year humanoid robots become real workers, or the year we admit we're not ready yet. But think bigger for a moment. If we can't figure out robot liability and AI ownership on Earth, how do we deploy them on Mars? How do we build lunar bases with machines when we can't even agree who's responsible when they fail? The stakes are larger than one company or one product. My question for you, do you think Tesla fixes these flaws in time? Or does the split with XAI actually create an advantage we don't understand yet? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. This is Tesla Zone, where we break down the breakthroughs that actually matter. If you want this level of analysis on every major development, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss what's coming next. And if this video changed how you see humanoid robots, smash that like button. It genuinely helps us reach more people who care about this technology. The robots are ready. The question is whether the companies building them are.